Okay, welcome back everyone, Zaf here to yet another wonderful Solo Leveling Rise video. As you can see, we're testing out whether or not Charlotte is worth it, should you summon for, what advancements are best for pay to win, free to play, etc. As you can see from this boss battle right here, this is not an A1 Charlotte, A2, A3, that being the advancements. This is an A9, almost fully advanced Charlotte, dealing less damage in Go, dealing almost the same amount of damage as her sister Harper, who is a breaker, not a DPS unit. So what gives? What's going on? Why is Charlotte so weak comparably to all other units? Let me go and answer that question right now, because it's actually kind of a big concern. But let me go ahead and show you the real big concern right now. This has totally broken the game for me, and you'll see what I mean in just a second here. If we go to our main missions, on the game mode screen you can see I have 270 gate keys. Listen, I don't know how I'm going to clear all of these. I was basically forced to claim all my hidden resources on our previous stream, so I am absolutely cooked. Thank you to Gideon. Actually, no, I wrote that. How dare you, Gideon, making us claim all our gate keys. So I will have a gate key suffering stream coming out if you want to see it, where we hopefully do all our gates, because this is ridiculous. So definitely do drop a like for our soon to be suffering. And also, a lot of you don't know that the supporter program is seasonal, meaning it ends. Yes, that's right. And once it ends, you're kicked off the program, meaning you can't get codes for the next season unless you extend your support. Super important. So follow the link down below to go to your My Page section. That way you can press the extension button. Super important. So if you're supporting, it takes 1 second to do. Go to the link down below, press the red extension button, and once you extend, this is what it looks like. It should say cancel extension. That means you did it right under your My Page section, so make sure to extend, otherwise you're missing out on the codes I do send. So thank you everyone who is supporting, it means so much. And also a shout out to David C for being the first commenter yet again. Here is your shout out and enjoy your juicy Discord role. Also, I should have mentioned this is probably your last day to extend. You probably have one more day max to do it, so do it ASAP, otherwise you will miss out. And also do not forget to subscribe. We're almost at the 100,000 subscriber milestone. We are almost there, I can taste it. So let's reach that milestone together. So on paper, Charlotte is actually slated to be one of the strongest hunters in the game, but what gives? Why is she just so weak? Let me tell you why. It's because any game mode where it's using her AI, so like POD, the guild boss, etc., will actually result in Charlotte not dealing the proper amount of damage, because her AI does not focus her basic attacks to get her ultimate off right away. So hopping into POD, very standard game mode, ideally what Charlotte will do is basic attack and ultimate right away, no other skills being used, but I recommend you watch very carefully right here. So Charlotte's going in, gonna target this arm here, and she uses her Q first, and then she uses her E. So instead of ultimating right away, after doing 3 basic attacks, she's basically ruining how her kit is supposed to be laid out. She uses her Q, her E, delaying her ultimate by a very long margin. Not worth it at all if you ask me. She's dealing a lot of damage though, that's interesting, but all that damage amounts to nothing if she isn't using her ultimate correctly, which is a big problem. She uses her skills first, which is actually fine. Her Q should be used for her ultimate, giving her a 15% damage bonus, I believe, at the A1 mark, but that is useless unless she basic attacks afterwards, which she doesn't do. Huge problem. That's why her damage results are so low. She's just not using her kit effectively, but if we were to use her kit effectively, she's actually one of our stronger, if not strongest, damage dealers. So unless the devs tweak her AI, I can't really recommend her right now. I recommend you wait, especially if you're free to play. Most important game modes use these characters and their AI, not manual play. The only person we really play manually is Jinwoo, unless it's for the workshop, for example, or certain hunter-specific game modes. So that's why after my stream, after we tested her, I was kinda stumped on what to recommend for Charlotte. She's obviously a powerhouse, that's for sure, but the problem is her AI makes her way weaker than she should be. She has some of the best ultimate damage scaling in the game, her A5 bonus having a 15 stack of 8% damage, which amounts to a 120% bonus on her ultimate, and her ultimate is already quite strong, so it's kinda crazy to see such bad guild boss damage numbers. So on the top right of our screen, I do have the summary of our testing. Super simple, 1 minute run on the bear floor 25 Battlefield Trials. This is our HP result on the bear with just Charlotte, so her base damage output, not with any other hunters on our team, just seeing how good she is alone, and how much each advancement provided a bonus to her kit overall. So as you can see at A0, she brought the bear to 10% HP, at the A1 mark, where she got a 15% dark damage bonus when using her main basic skill right here, and also a buff to her passive, where once you deal 3 basic attacks, getting the stage 3 off of course, your ultimate comes up, letting you ulti right away with a 20-second cooldown, reduced from 40. We got the bear to 87% HP, a 26% difference, so not too bad right off the bat. A2 doesn't matter, it's just a 12% bonus to our defense. Nothing major, not an advancement you would look for of course, but A3, this is where things get interesting. It's a 70% damage bonus to our ultimate, and our ultimate changes from Take This to Harper We Are One with a new animation. So the A1 to A3 advancement, again A3 representing advancement 3, so 3 stars. It was a 32% damage difference, so not too bad, but remember, that's 2 summons, not 1, going from A2 and an A3. So 2 summons for a 32% difference in damage, and an A4, where her basic attacks go off quicker, where you're dealing a bit more damage, nothing too major. It was a 2% difference on the bear, which amounted to a 10.5% difference in damage. A4 is not required to, not a serious advancement you should go for, but A5, this is where things do get interesting, with a solid artifact set and a solid team, buffing up her damage. This ultimate can deal tons of damage when you get the 15 stacks up, and remember, these stacks are infinite. Once you get them off, you can basically keep them, meaning a permanent 120% buff to your ultimate. Amazing if you ask me. So that amounted to a 22% difference in damage, so overall, the advancements you're probably going for, if you are free to play, and the AI issues do not concern you, you're hopeful about them being fixed. A1 is honestly a very good point, especially if you have Harper. If you don't have Harper, I really don't think there's a specific reason why you should summon 4, but you have to remember, these units eventually become very, very useful. So if you don't summon now, you do have to wait a month, but there are so many other units coming along on the horizon. We have the new Light Hunter, Gina I believe, she's going to be a DPS mage as well. And then we have Thomas Andre coming out too, so he is going to be super OP as well. These could have been bait banners, we don't know. But for manual play, Charlotte is actually super, super OP. Her ultimate just nukes, literally, just nukes completely. And I'll show you that in just one moment here, but if you're a whale, A5 is obviously required. That's an easy answer. As we know, with every single hunter, A5 is always that point where they get a ton, an absolute ton of damage. But if you're a dolphin, A3 is probably good enough, and then you eventually get her to A5, which is very, very strong. But if you are free to play, I recommend just waiting. Don't rush to summon for her. We have to see if her AI is going to be fixed. That's a huge concern. AI battles are a major part of the game, so we want to make sure Charlotte is dealing the proper amount of damage. Otherwise, we're just not getting too much use out of her. And the reason why A1 is important and our A0 isn't that good is because we're getting a substantial damage bonus from getting A1. Of course, the 15% dark damage just by using a skill is very strong and ultimate. The cooldown gets cut down by half, which is huge, so it is an advancement you probably want to get to really utilize her to the fullest. So let's just go to the bear, why not? We have some artifacts on Charlotte, just so I can show you her combination. That way you know her skill rotation, very important, because I do want to note for advancements, let me show you. When you do use her ultimate, her other basic skill, the one she dashes on, gets a 50% damage bonus. So basically her Charlotte's rotation, you want to use her Q, get the 15% dark damage bonus in, and then use her auto attacks, get the stage 3 off, That way your ultimate comes up, then you use your ultimate, then you use her next basic skill, which just got buffed from her ulti, and that's essentially her rotation. So let me show you. I'm just going to equip some hunters just to get some damage bonuses in, nothing special. And let me actually switch to the hunter mode. Of course, I was in the Jinwoo mode, no problem there. So hunter mode, go back here, and let's put in Harper and Min, why not, nothing too crazy. Form team, and with our shadows, of course, let's put on Ingress, get that crit in, and now we can hop in and see how much damage she's going to deal. Right now I believe I'm running a curse set on her. I will cover artifacts as well, just to have a sense of what's going to be good on her, of course. So here we go. We're waiting for the bear to dash, as you know, super annoying. Here we go, we're going to use our Q, we're going to use our ultimate, and then our E. Let's see how much damage her ultimate does. Should be a lot, and it just nukes. Her ultimate is literally a nuke. What was that? 17 million damage. So, as you can see, she's very, very strong. She's no joke at all. She's one of the best damage dealers in the game on manual mode, but on auto mode, she just sucks. That's because the AI just has no idea what to do. Let me go to another floor here. Let's do 31. Though this is going to get nuked as well. It's going to be fun seeing just how easily she nukes. Her ultimate is really no joke. And honestly, her E isn't too bad. As you can see, it's pretty decent for mob clear. You just kind of plow through everyone. Kind of fun if you ask me. She does have a lot of mobbing capabilities, which is good. And remember, when you hold down her dash, she has a very special feature where she basically gets a speed up, you can see here. Very interesting. She gets a shield as well, you can see. So it's kind of cool. I do wonder what it's going to be used for. There's nothing specific right now that really comes to mind, but watch her ultimate here. It's just going to nuke again. This is just way too easy for her. And boom. How much damage is that? That's 11 million damage from an ultimate. That is truly no joke. So Charlotte isn't weak. Her AI is weak though. That's the issue. Now, when it comes to the best artifact sets for her, honestly, we tested it out. And for short battles where mana is not required, right now, Curse, when it killed Obsidian, should be the best set you can use on her. As long as you're always above the 40% mana threshold, you should be a-okay to get the Obsidian bonus. If you are not familiar with Obsidian, here it is, outstanding ability. That's when you want a 25% damage dealt bonus. Pretty nice if you ask me. The only con is you have to stay above 40% mana, otherwise you will lose the entire bonus. So I would say for now, this is the best short-term damage dealing set, but for long-term, Curse is the best set to go. That's just because although Warmonger seems like the better set, it is actually not better because, very important, this is tested based on 0 defense being applied to Charlotte, meaning the Warmonger set is getting the full bonus off. It's being amplified when it should be diminished. So when we have a normal stat loadout for artifacts, having multiple artifacts with defense bonuses, Warmongers is just not going to cut it. And you have to remember, Warmongers is actually kind of annoying to build the stacks off of. The artifact set effect lasts for 6 seconds, so not too useful. You can lose it quite fast if the boss goes into invincibility periods, for example, so that's why Curse is just way easier to use. The bonus is applied right away. So I would say for short battles, you can either do 4 Curse for Obsidian, or 2 and 2 and 4, as listed right here, or for just long drawn out battles, Curse is the way to go. Again, one of the most versatile sets in the game, working for basically any unit, and the conditions to apply the bonus effects are honestly very easy to achieve. A1 for free to play if you really want to summon for her, but I recommend just waiting, seeing if she's going to be super useful. You do have 3 weeks to summon for her, so plenty of time to decide. A3 is fantastic for Dolphins, getting that additional ultimate damage off, and for Whales, A5, very clear, she's getting so much damage bonus to her ultimate just by getting 15 autos off, so you know what to do. Summon for her if you want one of the strongest hunters in the game when it comes to manual gameplay.